Congratulations on EA. Hello, new employees. Today we'll be patching the rainbow flags out of our games. Saudi Arabia has bought EA. And this is obviously like... This is a, like a simplification. And there's a Saudi prince. So this is a guy, how do you know he's a Saudi Arabian prince? I think the amount of items that he... Oh, yeah. 91,000 items. So that's the reason why people think that he's a Saudi Arabian oil prince. And it's fake. I don't know if it is or not, but I think it's funny. A Saudi prince has reportedly changed their Steam profile picture after EA sale. I bought EA. Thank you so much, Reddit. And so, anyway, there's that. What is that, PFP? Bro, like, they just do what they do. And so, anyway, let's go back over. I'll look at a few more of these. So, Saudi Arabia, no, here it is. And, yeah. EA has announced plans to be acquired for $55 billion by a consortium of investors led by Public Investment Fund of Saudi Arabia. That's right, boys. EA is getting... And by the way, what a good deal. I thought it was worth way more than that. Wait, with the FIFA, like, I thought EA was worth, like, 70 or 80 billion dollars. I was shocked that it was so cheap. And so anyway, it's in the game. Yes, exactly. And Jared Kushner, yeah, he was involved with it too. Absolutely. And so let me go back. I'll show you guys some more information about this too. So I'm mad that the stock fell hard. Well, it doesn't matter what the stock is. The thing is that, and this is what, so I said this myself. I said, let me open this up here. I said, this is a great business move for Saudi Arabia. It fits perfectly into their strategy of consolidating and making the Middle East an entertainment and sports center. EA makes FIFA. It's very obvious that a lot of the guys, like, because you've got to keep this in mind, a lot of the Saudi Arabian princes at this point, and the men that are making decisions, like MBS, I think is the main one, right? But you have other guys too. You look at these guys, and they're not 70-year-old men. Some of them are, but many of them are in their maybe late 30s, 40s, and 50s. These guys didn't grow up only in Saudi Arabia. They probably traveled internationally. They have, they've been on the internet forever. They've been all around the world. These guys know where things are going. And I think it's very obvious that, oil money and the energy efficiency of oil might not always be something the Middle East can rely on. So what these guys are doing, and I think it's really smart that they're doing this, is that they're trying to recalibrate their entire industry and their entire fucking economy into entertainment, sports, and media. That's clearly what they're trying to do. They're trying to diversify. And I think it's a great idea. And yes, bro, exactly. They want their money spent on FIFA booster packs. Well, and here's the other thing too. It's smart. Yeah. And the thing is that you might disagree. Oh, Saudi Arabia kills journalists. Yeah. Yeah. But I mean, they're not stupid. They're not dumb. They're not like low, like their IQ is not low. They're not stupid people. You might disagree with what their viewpoints are, disagree with what they do. It's the same as China or whatever else. The people that are running the country are not dumb. They're just simply disagreeing with you, and their values are a lot different than yours are, you could say. And so, yeah, that's it. Are women allowed to drive there? So I had a friend from Saudi Arabia, and he told me that the reason why women didn't want to drive, women didn't drive is because they didn't want to and they were lazy, and they didn't even want to show up to say that they wanted to drive. I don't know how often people get in accidents over in Saudi Arabia. I have no idea. Yeah, but apparently they made them, this is like a few years ago, right? And so I don't believe it. I think that they can drive now. And it's very obvious that Saudi Arabia and the Middle East are making themselves more westernized in the process of trying to appeal to a global audience through entertainment and media. And I think that this will be an interplay. So like in the same way that people criticize sports washing and they criticize, oh, wow, the Middle East is doing this or China's doing this so they can have more of a cultural control. I think this goes both ways. And I think that it also is a cultural exchange where when you have the people that are in that country that are seeing the way that maybe the West does things, or the way that, you know, maybe Japan does things, or other countries they do things, that's going to change their perspective and their worldview also. So it's not just going to be a one-way street. It's a good thing. I think it's a positive form of globalism. I do. I am a big advocate and a big fan of a global cultural exchange where each country retains their own autonomy to do what they want, but they can like, enjoy, and engage in other cultures and other economies to the degree that they want to. That, like, I'm a big fan of that. And the reason why I'm such a big fan of this is because of the way that I grew up. So I grew up in Austin, Texas. Austin, Texas is a massively multiracial place, and I grew up in a very multiracial environment. You know, like, I was actually a minority in my high school. It was like 60 or 70% Hispanic, and then, you know, the remainder was like black and white, and like white people and black people were about equal, with the like proportion of like how many people were in the school. And so like that's the way that I grew up, and I felt like that was a very, it prepared me as an individual, as a kid, to get along with anybody. And I think that then when I get on the internet and I started talking to people in Canada, I started talking to guys in Brazil, I met people that lived in the Middle East. I asked them, I said, so what happens if like a woman goes out not wearing that thing? And they just tell you. And I think that the value of that is so indispensable. It's so valuable. Because I think that that breaks down xenophobia, it breaks down other types of stereotypes, and it breaks down cultural divides that I think that whenever you have two people that can deal with each other, that's what really matters. At the end of the day, it matters it's on a personal level. Can you deal with and can you live with this other person? And I think that on the internet, and correct me if I'm wrong, tell me if you guys have had the same experience too, I've learned that in most cases, the answer to that is yes. It doesn't matter if it's a super traditionalist Muslim, if it's a hyper liberal trans person. If we're in a raid together, our goal is killing the boss, and we can work together. And I think that being on the internet and growing up the way that I did gave me such a great insight and such a great understanding of how to do that with people. And you know this now with me as an adult. How many times do I ever have drama with other people? Do I ever have drama with other people? No, I don't have issues with other people. I don't have like these fights with other people, like these weird, like, you know, big issues, etc. Almost never. Yeah, never. And so, Hassan? No, Hassan, like, I disagree with Hassan on things that are political. I don't dislike Hassan really I don't hate Hassan. I just disagree with his opinions on things. Like, these are two very, very different things. And I think that growing up the way that I did gave me the ability to be able to distinguish between the two things. And I think that's something that's extremely healthy. And whenever I see globalism like this happening, it makes me happy. Because it makes me hope that the next generation of guys is going to have the same experience that I did. Because I know that how valuable and how enriching that was for me as a person. And I hope that other people will have that too. Does that sound crazy? That's how I see things. That's the way I look at them. I'm not saying this is always the case or anything like that, but that's generally what I think. And are you sure you want to be back now and I have to deal with me? Yeah, I remember you. And yes, I do. Dearborn, Michigan? Oh, sure. I mean, you definitely have. Listen, there are instances of religious extremism that are problematic, and I totally agree with you, etc. Like, I don't want to bring Muslim fundamentalist culture into America in the same way that I don't want to bring American culture into Saudi Arabia. I think that these two places can coexist and can have mutual respect without having to completely, be mixed together. You know, is that hard? Is that complicated? I don't think it's complicated. So, yeah, I understand. Yeah, unless they want it. Yeah, of course, right? And, but it did happen in Saudi. Well, I'm not really sure what's happening in Saudi Arabia with everything. So yes, Saudi Arabia is buying EA. And a lot of people are saying, let me see if I can pull this up. Gay. EA, Saudi, gay. The end of gay at EA. The buyout is official. $55 million deal. EA is now owned by a conglomerate which includes Jared Kushner and the Saudis. There is zero chance the studio continues with virtue signaling and DEI shenanigans. I don't think that this is as guaranteed as you might imagine, but it's not like they're going to come out with a press release and say, we're getting rid of all the gay people now. All the rainbow people, we're deleting them. They're not going to just come out and say that in the press release. But that doesn't mean that it might not happen. Obviously, I do think this will play a role in the way that different things are told, right? And also, by the way, here's some silver lining. Now, there's a chance that maybe not Call of Duty, but Battlefield could have the storyline that September 11th was actually an inside job. You know, like, you stop the planes and everything and the towers still fall down. Now it's going to be Battlefield and not fucking Call of Duty, right? And there's a possibility for it now, right? Stop it. Yeah, sure, they wouldn't. I don't think they would either, but that would be absolute fucking cinema, wouldn't it be? Yes, directed by Michael Bay. Yes, bro. And then, yes, oh my God, play the Linkin Park sound as they go down. Holy fuck, that would be insane. And yeah, Summer Building 7, yeah. Any from the Saudi perspective, exactly. And Cinema Hallway, yes, this would be a proper timeline. So yeah, we thought it was going to be Call of Duty. No, it's not. I mean, you've seen the building destruction mechanics for Battlefield, so they're already halfway there. Anyway, I don't need to make any more 9/11 jokes, right? But actually I will, but not yet. My point is, this is probably going to change the way that EA games are being made, and it's probably going to change the way that different games get greenlit and different games get approved, right? Why did Bush do it? That's the big question, right? And not because of Saudi or Kushner's personal beliefs, but because his strategies do not make money. And this is also another really big important thing, is that why is it that all of these non-westernized countries and companies are not pushing, you know, like a gender ideology or like a sex ideology? The reason why is because it doesn't make money. Like, adding this stuff into video games doesn't make money. The only time that it happens is in the West, because that's the people that really care about it a lot. And so, yeah, that's it. Saudi Arabia Games and Sony, I guess, right? And it doesn't make money. Well, it never made money, right? And that's the thing. And so EA took on debt to do it, which makes the company focus laser-like on profits and growth above all else. The whole idea of a buyout like this is because investors believe that they can make more money on this than being public. I think they're right. I do. And here's another reason, is that Saudi Arabia is, like, they're trying to make their own, like, they already have their own golf league. They have their own soccer or football league as well. And they're trying to, obviously, like, EA is a vertical piece of that integration to making sure that, like, the Middle East is, like, the hub for football, soccer, and entertainment and media. Yeah, like MMA also. Yeah, of course. Their golf league is ass. Yeah, I mean, Rome wasn't built in a day. Like, it's going to take them time to develop this and make it good. But the point is that they're working on it over time. And so that's really the point. Oh, Dubai hosts the Overwatch Championship? Yeah, exactly. Do you think that in the Dubai Overwatch Championship, Tracer or Soldier 76 being gay is ever discussed? I've got a feeling maybe not. Oh, maybe not. Oh, that's going to be a no Peruskis for me. And so, yeah, Soldier 76 is from the game. Yes, he is. And, yeah, Mercy, she's from a video game? Wait, what? And it's never being discussed anyways. Well, they're not showing any key art with, like, them with their partner or anything like that at all. And I could probably see Blizzard doing that if it was something that was happening in California. I can definitely tell you that. So EA is getting bought out, etc. And then you have, this is also another person who's saying this. This is former BioWare lead writer, reads the runes on the EA Saudi deal and speculates that guns and football are in, gay stuff is out. Who writes a fucking title like this? Guns and football are in and gay stuff out. Like, by the way, were you trying to say, like, I'm sorry, but have you never been on the internet before? Don't tell me this is something that you're criticizing them for, because I don't think a lot of people on the internet are going to see it that way. And Jesus, how many fucking pop-ups am I going to get? Oh my God. And so, yeah, our changes are going to come to Apex then, because one of the characters is trans. Is it? No, I thought they were non-binary if you're talking about Bloodhound, but maybe they added a trans character too. I have no idea. I haven't kept up with Apex ever since the game came out. So the rumor's been swirling for a while. Let me see here, and let me see if I can find and pick it up. And I wouldn't want to be sitting in a BioWare chair right now. So, and then here we go too. The rumors have been meaning the new EA is instantly saddled with $20 billion of debt and will face intense pressure to crank those profits. It's also the latest step in the Saudi Arabian investment fund's mission to sports wash its brutal regime by using its influence, ubiquity across entertainment industries to distract from some of the world's most appalling human rights abuses. It's working. It's working. And you know who else is doing it very well? Is China. China is doing it extremely well. I think that the reason why, I mean, obviously, I think the country that did this first and that did this best, two countries that did it very well, I think in terms of a top-down decision to do it was South Korea, and in terms of something that happened organically was Japan. Because look at how many people are weebs now. People love fucking Japan. They love anime. You know, they all want to go there, love Nintendo, etc. That's a degree of cultural exchange and soft power that you can't really buy. It's something that just happens over time. And so love hentai. Yes, a lot of people love hentai. I heard that with young people jerk off to hentai more than they do to real girls. And I don't know what that says about the future, but I think I do. And that's not so good. And anyway, so let me see if I can find the rest of this here and see if I can pick it up. And where the fuck did it go? This is some of the older stuff. I don't know if there's any more of this. And fuck, EA games. I'll see if there's any more of this to go over and talk about, but I think that's basically it. And oh God. I mean, this is what's going to happen, like, for sure. Of course, they're not going to be pushing this stuff. I think anybody could expect that. So, yeah. And it's just evolution where we all download our brains into the internet. Yeah, I guess that's what's happening. By Saudis buying EA, did we not accelerate the Robot Catgirl program? I think that we might have. I do. I think that there's a good chance we might have accelerated and we might have robot catgirls sooner than we originally anticipated, which is great. I'm happy. And it's about fucking time, right? I mean, damn. They borrowed $20 billion from USD to JP Morgan to buy EA. Well, it looks like that's what's going to, they're going to be trying to make as much money as possible. The quotes from the BioWare employees about the EA situation make me so sad. Now, how do you know that this is somebody that, like, why can't I reply? Hoes mad. A tale as old as time. Oh, it's a classic, isn't it? Yep, you get that all the time. And what do you expect? I mean, she's got her pronouns in a bio. I mean, that's the first thing you put in there. Usually people have it at the end, not her. And so, make me sad, the EA situation. I wish them nothing but the best. I hope they can continue to make Mass Effect 5 the game they want to make. The game that they want to make. Man. Where'd the picture go? I guess I can't find it anymore. But, yeah, about that. I don't know about that one. Let me see if I can pull this up again. And, we're going to keep working until they tell us we're done. It's not the healthiest way to live, but as long as the paychecks keep coming, we're not going to just walk away. That's right. And I love this. I love this comment because it really goes to show that the moment that these people have to endure any level of, like insecurity or any level of discomfort for having any values, immediately the values go away. And I think that's important to keep in mind. I'm not saying that the values don't matter, but I'm saying that if these are the same people that want everybody else to carry their flag for them, they won't even do it for themselves. And so there you go. I've been doing it since last year, making sure I have a portfolio ready and feelers out for the job. They say kind of feels like a matter of time. Look at the negativity that came after Dragon Age, said one source. If we felt it was only going to get worse then, can you imagine what some of us think now? Gentlemen, would you like a glimpse into the future? Would you like to see things as they will be in 1 year? Man, it's not looking good for you. That's just the way it goes. And Big Mac, please? Yeah, exactly. No, the reason why this is happening, I'm going to be real, it's because the games don't make any money. If putting a bunch of gay and trans stuff in your games made money, then this would never have happened in the first place. The problem is that these people want to force a viewpoint into a video game and then get mad when people don't buy it, and then they start crying when the company gets shut down. And here's another one. There's another video game company, Contraband, what was the Avalanche, right? Avalanche Studio. See if I can find this real quick. Yes, so there was a new video game studio, and Avalanche is imploding. So you see right here, I have reasonably confirmed the devs I spoke to used to work at studios in question. So on the Sweet Baby Inc. website, Avalanche Studios Group was on their list. And now, a studio update from Avalanche Studios Group. In light of the current challenges to our business and the industry, we have thoroughly reviewed how to best ensure Avalanche Studio Group's long-term success. The review has led us to the difficult conclusion that we must make changes to our staffing and location. As a result, we are proposing to close our Liverpool studio to initiate the collective consultation process as required by UK law. This will impact all Avalanchers in Liverpool. The changes will also impact our other studio locations in Malmo and Stockholm, where we will reduce our workforce and restructure. Guys, it's not a mass firing. They're only restructuring. It's gonna be fine. To address our game's needs, our immediate focus is to offer full support to the Avalanchers during this challenging time. Despite those changes, we remain deeply committed to providing amazing games to our passionate player communities. This also came about like a month after they canceled one of their games. And so anyway, that's what happens. It's absolutely not a mass firing. No, it's not a mass firing. They're just shutting down entire studios. No, but that's not what's happening. Yeah, so Avalanche Studios is cooked, I guess. And you see, obviously, and this is the problem. You know, 2011 to 2019. I wonder which one people want to be. Another 2011 to 2019. I wonder which one people want to be. Too bad, huh? Man, everything's fine. Yes, Sweden is home of Embracer. I really hope this will hit them as well. I think that this will happen to every single one of these like weird companies that's being run by activists. Like every single, and I think that the activists inside of these companies are a cancer. And I don't think that it's like, actually it's not a cancer, it's an infection. And when a limb gets infected, you can't remove all the infected cells and then just keep the limb. You have to cut the whole limb off. And I think that's what's going to happen. I don't think that you can remove these people and then just kind of keep going as normal. I think this is a death sentence because you can't remove them because they're trying to, like, they control HR stuff, etc. You gotta just not hire these people in the first place. Blizzard is run by activists. Well, it's actually really funny that you bring that up. So Blizzard is run by activists. I haven't even downloaded a fucking ad block for this yet, so it's a little bit annoying. So the Warcraft channel just went live earlier today, and this is the deep dive into the new expansion. It only had 11,000 viewers. Oh my god. Did you watch it? No, I was asleep. Actually, that's not true. I was reading Twitter. Yeah, same shit with Ubisoft. Yes, exactly. It sounds about right. Yeah. And this, and again, like, this isn't like, oh, wow, this determines the game is bad or something like that. But I do think that it's worth considering that the level of enthusiasm and interest that people have has certainly gone down. Like, you compare this to 2018, like, even back here, it was pretty popular, at least a little bit. And, like, you just look at some of these other ones, like, it's AWC. When was the last time they did something that was not just, like, an event? Like, when was the last time they did something where they talked about the game? It's just a bunch of, like, esports bullshit. So even the Mythic Dungeon Invitational was getting more views than this. This is crazy. Yeah, it's just all, it's all esports stuff. A lot of those viewers are streamers from others restreaming it, though. You're right that it definitely had, no, that's a good point that you're making, that it had lower viewers because you had people restreaming it. But I would argue that that was the same in 2021. Like, a lot of people, there were a lot of times whenever I would stream to Blizzard events, I would have more viewers than Blizzard did. And I think that was very common. So yeah, the we call Ascension WoW video has 77k views. Yeah, I mean, I don't know about, like, fucking, like, private servers. I'm not into private servers. I'm just talking about, like, the baseline games. But what I'm saying is that Blizzard is, Blizzard is clearly, not doing well also. But yeah, Avalanche Studios has been shut down. So EA being bought by Saudi Arabia. Let me just kind of finish this up. What does this mean for EA? What does this mean for, like, how things are going to go? I think EA is absolutely... Man. How about that? I don't know what to say, guys. I really don't. Soccer is haram. Yeah. So I think that there is a good chance, a very, very good chance, that things will be changing. Yeah, the social messaging in games will be going away. Expect predatory monetization to go through the roof. Absolutely, 100%. Every single fandom that revolves around a game EA owns today. Yep, that's about right. And holy fucking shit. Me, after the Saudi Arabia EA buying out, knowing this will eliminate all the woke slop from EA games in the future, it won't eliminate all of them, but it will eliminate a lot of them. And so, yeah, that's basically it. And I think this is going to be, yeah, check my chat about Ubisoft. Well, I don't know what Ubisoft is getting bought out by China. And this is the issue, is that you have a lot, and at a certain point, isn't it weird that, so, by the way, so my new PC, it has an AMD processor and an AMD graphics card. I go to download NVIDIA GeForce Experience, and it wouldn't let me download it because I didn't have an NVIDIA graphics card. Ever since, like, 2010, I've had NVIDIA graphics cards. So I'm sitting there and I'm like, is this a bug? What's going on? And, like, it took me like 5 or 10 minutes to realize you can't download it because you don't even have a fucking graphics card for this. NVIDIA is better at GPU. I'm getting very soon 5090. Ooh. Ooh, very, very soon. Oh, it's gonna be good. Oh, it's gonna be real good. So yeah, feeling real good. Don't forget a line. Yeah, absolutely. So it's going to happen, and might be very soon. I got a message about it earlier. I'll probably respond to it and get into it later. But anyway, let me see if I can find this here. And consumer worry: Saudi Arabia removed women from Sims 4 image. Do you think this will affect the existing $2,000 DLCs in the game, including LGBTQ DLCs? Absolutely not. I don't think that it will at all. The reason why is that it's regional. So, like, whenever you have companies that do this stuff, they have regional pricing and they also have regional media. It's the same reason why, like, Mercedes changes, you know, like their UK logo to a rainbow, but that never happens in Mercedes Dubai. Why is that? I don't know. Maybe the social media manager there just doesn't really do his job in June. I wonder why. And so anyway, I don't think that's really what's going to happen. I don't think there's going to be there's not going to be a lot of retroactive changes. There's no blacks in China. There are some, and I think that also, you want to know what's really funny? I still think, I unironically think that Trump should do this. Trump should give iShowSpeed $10 million for creating more value, more soft power, and a better cultural exchange by doing his China tour than USAID had in 20 fucking years. That went so hard. And yeah, you had a few racists and assholes. Yeah, sure. But on a baseline, that was amazing. Like, you want to talk about real fucking soft power, you look at iShowSpeed. That's the real one. China don't like foreigners? Yeah, definitely. And yeah, Speed dealt with it well. There's always assholes. And you see Speed gifting a Rolex to his bus driver? Yeah. I mean, like, that's something, it's like, I remember I had a dream where I won the lottery, and the only thing that I was doing was I was on the phone with my accountant and my money manager about how we're going to deal with this in taxes. Like, I never spent any of the money. It was just like a headache because, like, I was like, okay, so how much is this going to be in taxes? And okay, so how are we going to allocate this money? Yeah, it was like an actual, like, it was one of those, like, fucking, like, very neutral kind of, like, soft horrors where you've won all this money, but it turns out to be like a monkey's paw fucking, you know, it's a gift that becomes a curse, right? It was a nightmare. Yeah, well, it wasn't even a nightmare. It was just like me sitting in the lobby. The only thing I remember about the dream is me sitting in the lobby of the casino on the phone trying to get the bank account information to the casino person, and it, like, there was like a mix up there because they weren't communicating with each other properly. So it wasn't even like nothing bad happened, nothing good happened. It was just, it was the most real life dream that you could possibly have. Bro stressing out in his dreams? Yes, exactly. And winning the lottery was a nightmare for you? I mean, listen. I'm a very simple man, okay? I like only a few things. I like soda. I like Chipotle. And I like beef jerky. This is $20, by the way. Can you believe that? Oh my God. It was not worth it, by the way. I already said soda. Okay, well then I'm pretty much done. Yep, that's about it. And so, yeah, I've got I don't need a lot. I don't want a lot. Everything, like, this is the reason I was talking, like, people are like, oh, you're just going to give away all your dad's stuff. Yes! Yes, I don't want to deal with this. I don't want his fucking bed. I don't want to deal with it. No, get it out of my life. Get it out of my life. I was meant, I really believe this, I was meant to live in a monastery. I even have the hairline for it. I do. I should have did, this is, I'm not inside of my, this is not my intended programming. I'll say that. And the car, I am taking the car. We are master looting the car. But aside from that, we're keeping everything else. So, yeah. Anyway, so let me get back to what I was saying. I don't even know how I got distracted by this. I have no clue. But anyway, countries. Not coconut trees. You know, my mom told me that she would take me to... She'd take me to Chuck E. Cheese anytime I got an A on a spelling test. Never went to Chuck E. Cheese. Countries that can't do media because they are mean. And so let me see, how do I make it rap? View word wrap. Okay, there we go. And so, yeah, right. So you have Middle East, China, let's see here, Russia. Let's see, who else besides this? India, sometimes. Let's see, besides this, other countries, North Korea. Turkey. It's kind of Middle East, but like not really. Israel. Nigeria, I mean, like, yeah, Pakistan. Here's my point, okay? It seems to me that all of the virtue signalers on social media will not accept any form of media unless maybe it's from Japan. They won't accept any media from any other culture at all. Because these other cultures have viewpoints and ideologies that we think are reductive. Isn't that kind of crazy whenever you think about it? Like, the Middle East can't make video games and they can't get involved with media because it's sports washing. China can't do it for whatever other reason. And so I hate this virtue signaling, and I hate this weird thing where, and also, by the way, I would never want to live in any of these countries. I wouldn't. I love living in America. I don't want America to be more like these countries. But at the same time, I just hate this weird fucking shit that people are doing where any of these countries that does anything, oh, we can't consume media from them because, oh my God, their government does bad things. Why are these people trying to make rules for everybody else and how they should behave? It's outrageous. So yeah, Portland coverage on this, it's happening here. Oh, Portland, I have seen that. I'll talk about that in just a little bit, but let me finish this up. I think this is so overbearing and obnoxious and annoying. I hate it, okay? Just so you know, when you were on break, the left started calling the alt-right Indians. The left horseshoed themselves in doing right-wing racism. The left started calling the alt-right Indians? What? What are you talking about? What do you mean? I don't even know what you mean by that. Yeah, it's like Black Myth Wukong. People hated on it. They didn't want to support it because of China. It was a fantastic game. Yeah, exactly. And they also didn't want to support it because the way that it showed women. And so that's the problem, is that we have self-appointed cultural gatekeepers in Western culture that constantly try to virtue signal and purity test any media that comes from a non-Western culture and censor, control, and dictate the way that that media is supposed to be done. And they do this against the will of the public. They do this against the will of the consumers, and they force themselves into these positions in HR, in certain types of marketing positions, and in journalism, and they create these narratives and they lie about this stuff, and I think it's ridiculous. It's absolutely fucking ridiculous. Source? I just look at it. I don't do any sources. All of my statistics and everything are made up, but they're also true. That's just the way it is. Like, I'm not going to look up a statistic and look up a fucking, like, a graph, and it's like, oh, yeah, well, you know, if you look at the graph says this. Fuck the graph. What am I reading a fucking graph for? Why I need to read a motherfucking graph? Nah, I just simply look at it. That's the way it is. It's that simple. Yeah, source, trust me, bro. Yeah, I just make it the fuck up. And by the way, most of the time, I would say 99%, I guess I'm doing it right now, 99% of the time, whenever I make up a statistic, it's right. I'll say that. It's vibes. Yeah, all of my data, everything is just vibes. You been around? Yeah, I just look on the internet and I look at some posts and it's like, oh, that's probably the way it is. It's that simple. To paraphrase, the left started accusing the popular right-wing accounts of being run from India. Oh, right. So there has been a push to... I really don't like... By the way, I've got to say this because nobody else says this. I hate the way that people treat Indians now. I think it's so disgusting and it's so unfair. The most patriotic and positive and, in my opinion, some of the people that have done the most work and effort to become functional, beneficial members of American society have been not American Indians in terms of like Native Americans, but I mean Indians from India who have come here and immigrated to become Americans. I hate the idea and this like weird bullshit that we have where we constantly talk down to and treat Indians badly. I think the reason why it's socially acceptable is because Indians, like, on average make a lot of money because many of them that are immigrants come from the highest class, the Brahmin class. Many of them do, and so they have good jobs, access to good education, and so because they're seen as a privileged class, it's okay to say rude things to them. I hate this. I think it's disgusting. I think it's wrong. And yeah, culture issues. Fuck that. Fuck that culture. This guy's wearing an American flag on his shirt. Okay, like he's a voting fucking conservative Republican. Like cultural issues, my ass. Get the fuck out of here. No, it's just racism, and I don't like it. I think Indians get the short end of the stick, and I think that it's a form of racism that has become more culturally and socially acceptable, and I don't think that it's deserved at all. I think India. I've looked at pictures of India. Place looks like a shithole to me. It does. But they're not in India. They're in America. That's what I think. I don't like it. It's gross. Yeah. It should all. Yeah, it is. It is. I've seen photos. Like, I'm not saying the place isn't a shithole. It is. But like, they're not living there. They came here. And so yeah. Anyway, that's. I don't know. I don't like the way Indians are treated on social media. I think it's unfair. Okay, I can go through and talk about this a bunch, but, you know, that's pretty much my fucking 2 cents on this. I find it to be very annoying. And where the fuck is the rest of these? There's been so many things that have happened. I've gotten so distracted. What was I going to say besides that? And yeah, what is this Clean India Google Maps challenge? I've heard of it. We're not going to do it. I mean, again, India might be a gross country, and this is the way I think India is, and a lot of other places are. India is probably a place where there are some really nice places, and there are some places that are awful. I have no doubt that there are probably nice places in India. I would love to visit India and go to those places. I'd even probably go to the shitty places too, just to see what it's like, right? I mean, just in the same as like, you know, just to have that, the experience of that and to just see what it is. But that being said, you know, it's not somewhere I'd want America to be, right? I wouldn't want America to be like this.